invited everybody to the stream. I was like, eh, whatever. And I just posted it on Twitter. We'll do another stream later with just us, and we can go over anything you guys want. Allie, you had some stuff. What did you want to look at? Maybe we'll look at it now. Vet? Yeah, we can look at it. I don't want to get into the alts too much now, but I don't know. It's probably a good time to get into it. Maybe we'll go over BTC with Twitter and everything, and the other free group that I was talking about that I like. I invited those guys too, so we can go over BTC, and then we'll do a stream just for us, where we can go over our trades and trade ideas you guys have that we can look at together. Yeah, if you saw the last video where I said everybody again saw the zigzag coming, right? And I said I think we got that flat. We had a flat correction. It ended up being right. We had a running flat. So this was my call right from the last one. So we have a running flat here. We're going to get a shallow retrace here on that C wave because we have too much bullish power above the right below that support, just under 9K, and push back up since then. So just to see like an idea, right, what we're going to see on this wave 5, what we could, our model that we called back on June 9th, when I first came up with this model, for those who weren't here for that, everything looked kind of bullish over here, but then something hit me, and I just spotted it, and I was like, you know what, I actually see a bullish scenario here. That was right here at the bottom before wave 3 broke out, and sure enough, this is one of the best calls I've ever had as far as going perfectly, like according exactly to what I had planned, what I had modeled. Not bragging about it, I'm just saying that's what we did a couple weeks ago. So everything had been going really well, and then right here I wasn't sure what to make of it, and sure enough, yeah, we got that running flat, which is always really bullish. So now that we have the completion of my 10K model, I'm considering this a valid call. Hopefully you guys would agree. If it drops right now and never officially hits 10K, I don't care. It's still probably one of my favorite calls of all time that I've ever put together. One of the best models I've ever put together. Worked really hard on it, but you guys got to see me discover it live. That was kind of cool to do that video. You guys should go back and watch the video if you haven't seen it, where we came up with this count, because I just sort of spotted it out of the corner of my eye, but didn't really count it out. And then I did a video where I counted it out live, so it kind of gives you a window into my thought process, how I discover these trends and really notice these counts. It just sort of like reveals itself, and I slowly piece it together. It was a pretty cool experience to be able to share that, because I've never had a video where I've spotted such an important count on like Bitcoin, for instance, of all coins. And when we were going through it, it was like I was explaining, well, this would only make sense if this is the 1618 extension, so we'll see. And then I would test it, and it was like exactly to the 1618 extension. I was like, oh, this would only make sense if it retraced to the 236. And then I would do a fib retracement. It's like boom, right to the 236. It's pretty cool. So just to get a better idea shorter term, let's look at the 15 minutes. We can get a deeper dive down into this wave 5. See if we can get any sort of structuring here, just to see what sort of targets we can set, if we can expect to even get to 10K this run. There's a relatively strong resistance you can see on the Coinbase chart at 97.50. It's a minor resistance, but it's substantial enough that it would be the perfect spot to get rejected right here. So if this was like a 1 wave, 2, 3, that could be an ideal. That'd be like a 2618 extension. I'm going to pull it up on the Bitstamp chart because that's where I first put this together. So we're getting some resistance here, but I don't think there's enough to really stop us. We should be able to push through. I really think that 97.50 is going to be an important resistance, so we'll see. Yeah, let's pull this one back up. Quick look at that. So just to play around with a couple counts, right? So if that's the beginning, say we have a 1, 2... prior top, it's going to be tough to it's tough to get this count up to 10K, because realistically it would probably have some difficulty getting there unless we get like a 2618 extension like we had when it gets really bullish, which is possible. Look at that. So this is right at the 1618. I hate to say it, but this is like a perfect spot to retrace. I love 1618 extensions for wave 3s. It is by far my favorite fib target. Any wave 3 I pretty much go for a 1, 6, and 8 extension when I model it, and it is pretty spot on. The guys in the group can attest to that. Most of the counts I come up with when I'm spotting out a wave 3 and targeting a 1, 6, 1, 8, a lot of the time it hits with the most incredible precision. It makes the most sense. So the only way is if we get a retrace here, we don't retrace too far, maybe to 9,500. There was a really good support there, resistance at 9,500. That might actually hold, especially since that's sort of where we maxed out over here. Oh, 94.60. Let's look at that Coinbase chart again. Coinbase actually looks more bullish, which is always a good indicator. When Coinbase is bullish, that's outside money. Guys who haven't traded crypto before, they're not on Bitstamp, they're not on BitMEX, they're not on Bitfinex. They're all on Coinbase. So everybody's virgin experience is losing money on Coinbase. So that's usually outside money. A lot of the time you'll see Coinbase act as a precursor, a predictor before there's larger market movement, because that new money flows into Coinbase as an indicator that outside money is coming in. So it's important to watch a Coinbase chart, even if you're not trading on Coinbase. But on the Bitstamp, yeah, you can retrace here. I'm in Zill. I'm answering a question to somebody in Discord for those who can't see. Yeah, earlier I kind of doubled down on Zill and got super aggressive, but it might end up working out for me in the long run. I'm also back in nulls, right at my original entry here. Just duplicated it, so right back in there. It's a little bit of a more aggressive play. I have this chart doesn't show my latest entry on Zill, which I entered right here, right above my old stop loss. So I have another entry which I did on my phone, and I shared to the group, so you can check short-term plays and see it. I didn't get stopped out of this either. That little wick that came down didn't stop me out of that entry. So then I bought again when we dipped down and essentially doubled down. So I got hyper aggressive with Zill because it pissed me off when I was revenge trading, but my model holds, right? What was I talking about on my whole analysis with Zill? And I said disprove my bullish thesis. Everything about that still holds. I was just wrong on the timing, right? This trendline support is still an insanely strong trendline support. After it went from a resistance to a support, this reversal, it became incredibly strong. So that's pushing us up and forward, and then we have the horizontal supports. I thought we were going to hold at these horizontals. They failed. I took the stop loss. I lost 3% or whatever, 3.1%, 2.7 to 3.1, the range of the trades that I made. But as we came down to this new set of supports, I figured I'll try it again, and so far I'm actually in. So yeah, I am in Zill. That link bounce, man, right off my support. I keep telling you, support and resistance is the key, and we're coming right back down to retest it right here. If you could get an entry at that support, I would go for it. Because if you were to enter right there on that support, if it gets back down to that support or just below, if this candle goes down far enough, you can keep your risk to just the bottom of that wick right there, so risk under 2%, and if it breaks out from there, you're golden. If Bitcoin hogs all the money and keeps moving up, and Chainlink drops and you get stopped out, it's only 1.9%. You just have to know how to set a good stop loss. What else? How about that support for LTC? Remember I said I moved my stop loss for LTC and only locked in 1.75%. My logic was I don't want to get a quick retrace come down and stop me out. I want to be below this 133 support, which is really strong. Look how beautifully that thing held. That thing was a champ. That wick hit it to the dollar. Low, 133. See that up here where it says low? And I hover over the candle and it shows exactly 133 to the penny of my support right here. I can't emphasize it enough. Support and resistance. Just, if you're learning TA, do nothing but look for support and resistance. Just hours, 5 hours a day, looking for supports and resistance levels on charts. Watch those charts 6 hours later and see if you were right. See how well your support's held. If you're able to do this, if you're able to identify a support that holds to the penny, or better yet, if you hold a support, identify a support that holds to within, what's the range of this little wick here? 0.5%. You got something going. Then you could build upon that. But that is absolutely the most important thing you could focus on. I know I say it all the time, so there's no point in continuing. Anyway, LTC, I never moved up my stop loss to get more aggressive. I wanted that protection. It's a good thing I did. I didn't get stopped out. This is also a very large trade. I put 20 grand into this originally. So that's a big trade for me. I usually don't put that much into a single position, as most of you know. Man, that BNB trade, how much did that suck? For people who weren't here, this little wick dipped down and just bounced right above the 55 EMA. Then I put this trade up and I said, when this next candle dips to that same exact spot, I'm sniping it because it's going to move up from there. It never actually hit, so I never got my orders filled. Oh, that sucked. I would have been so happy to be in this BNB trade, but I spotted it, and it feels good to have a trade that you know you could have made money on because at least you know your model's working, but I really wish I got my buys filled on that thing. That would have been beautiful. Anything else worth looking at right now? I want to kind of save the other stuff for when we do our group stream. Well, I'll come up with new trades in the group stream. For now, we're just looking at old shit. Wow, EOS looks so strong. Sometimes EOS goes insanely bullish along with BTC. If BTC keeps pushing, I think EOS can carry with it. There's just not a good entry right now. It's sitting at a resistance. This is right at a resistance. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Really, really good resistance right here. Ideally, hey, stop barking. So if this, from this resistance to that resistance, it's a little under 3%. I wasn't paying attention. I should have caught this trade right there too. Look at that support. Oh, it's beautiful right there. Boom, right across that zone. That was a beauty. I really wish I caught that. I wasn't paying attention because I got stopped out. I got 8.5% profit on this trade when it came back down and stopped me out, which I wasn't even expecting. I thought it was going to keep holding. This is such a strong range in here. That's a major resistance. I'm debating about getting in now. See, so you have to weigh the pros and cons. If I enter into ES right now, there's a lot of potential. This SL from a while ago, I had 26% locked in. That's probably from an earlier trade over here. Yeah. So I made a lot of money on those ES calls. So I know that this can produce a substantial return for me. The question is, I had 32% locked in on that trade at one point. I kind of like, they're like trophies. You know, serial killers have trophies. When I come up with sick trades, I leave my old stop losses on there just to remember when I'm depressed because I lost money on a stupid trade or something. But yeah, there's potential with EOS. The only hesitation I have is that the strength of this resistance is just so substantial. What I would like to do is buy in right here. It's just above this support. It just broke that resistance. This resistance is now a support, right? At 696 and change. That's a support. So it's sitting right on a support. So if I were to buy right here, oh, wow, look at that. 55.99, top and the bottom of the cloud, 4 dynamic Ichima supports, and the supports in this zone right here, plus the support we just broke. Stand by while I buy some EOS, por favor. Espera por un momento, porque necesito comprar más mierda para mí, para el futuro de mis hijos. Mi hijo está durmiendo ahora mismo. No sé dónde está mi hija. Ella es con mi esposa. Sí, soy judío quien habla español. El único judío en todo el mundo quien habla español. Porque estaba viviendo en Arizona por 9 años. Y hay demasiados mexicanos en Arizona. Todos mis amigos allá son mexicanos. Filled. Okay, hold on. I have BTC since I moved to all into BTC, so I'm actually buying it with BTC, even though I'm charting it on a Tether chart. You know, I talk about you play the trade that you're charting, right? You don't chart the play you're playing. So I'm charting EOS against Tether, so I should be buying it with Tether in theory, but I have all BTC in my account, except for ZIL, some nulls, and my LTC trade. This is my primary account. Well, not anymore. So I filled my EOS bags using BTC, but now I'm going to go over and set my stop loss to stop me back out to Tether, because I'm focusing on these supports, right? We have the 55 and the 99 EMA on the top and the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud, giving us 4 dynamic Ichima supports. So if I set my stop loss this pink line isn't that strong of a support. It's actually more of a range, and it's a little above it. I don't want to go and take on a full 3% risk, but the fact that the 222 EMA is right there, I'm almost inclined to go like 3.25%. I don't think anybody else should necessarily take more than 3% risk. It's usually the most I'll ever accept, unless it's very unusual circumstances. This is one of those cases. It's not that much of a stretch. I'm going to take on some additional risk. I'm up a lot over the last month or two. We've been doing exceedingly well. So I'm willing to take on a little bit more risk right now. So I'm going to take probably between 3.15 and 3.35% risk on this trade so I can get my stop losses. I'm going to have two of them just below where this 222 EMA is. So let me set those real quick. Okay. All right, that's good. Sweet. Now what you want to do is take all of your capital and go all into Doge. I'm joking. Please don't do that. Just please, please. I was joking. All right. What else? Nobody's saying shit in the chat. I never look at the chat on YouTube, and then when I don't look at it, everybody's typing in it. Now I actually look at it, and nobody's saying shit. All right, so I'm in the ES trade. I'm not going to get into any more new trades now. That we'll go over in the group. Anything else worth just quickly running through one more time now? We'll come back. Let's circle back around. Okay, so my new re-entry on nulls is breaking up. That's good. Is that moving with BTC? Okay, so BTC is holding and the alts are moving up. We could start to see that shift I was talking about. You kind of have this balance, right? Where BTC is moving up, people are dumping alts to get into BTC to catch the wave, ride the wave, which is what I myself did earlier today, right? Then you get to a point where BTC maxes out, everybody sees a potential correction coming, so then they move back into alts, and you see that flip-flop. That balance is key, because at some point you reach a point where new money comes into the market at a point where it is perfectly balanced, then you see alts and BTC move up together. So that's what I've been waiting to see. It's not something you could really predict timing-wise. It just sort of happens. There's no way to really model that sort of behavior because that's a market psychology thing. That's not really a technical matter. All right, last point I'll leave you guys with, because people who aren't in the group aren't familiar with the various trading techniques I use. So my main strategy, my main model is called Ichima, where I use the EMAs and the Ichimoku cloud to form dynamic supports that move along with price action. So in this scenario, before this trend line, this green trend line was actually formed by the price action here, we already had this trend building from the EMAs moving in that direction. So I had already anticipated the forming of this apex right here. So when I said watch this zone right here, and I put out that tweet, my logic, if you can see, I broke it down here, my Ichima model. So when I have my Ichima dynamic supports moving up, forming a trend line support like this, even if you didn't have this green line there, I would know that we already have this uptrending support from my Ichima supports. And since we have such a strong topside resistance, which is this is that resistance we identified in the last live stream, or from a year ago, from the live stream a couple weeks ago or whatever, that was forming this consolidation zone, forming an apex, just like you have with an ascending triangle. This turned into an actual ascending triangle where we had a trend line support that we can draw. But even without that green line, you could already see just from the Ichima support. So it's really important to identify other support mechanisms besides typical horizontals and trend line supports. Because I have my Ichima dynamic supports, I don't really need to even have this green line, and I still saw this accumulation zone as a potential apex, a breakout point, and that's what we have, that apex zone. That's why I call it an IDAS, because it's the Ichima dynamic accumulation zone. All right, so yeah, just to close this out then. So on the Bitstamp chart, it still looks like this would be a perfect time to correct. If we break through, I'm not going to complain. What I would love to see here, right? If we get a lot of bullish buy power, you get the wave 3 extends to the 2618 extension. Wave 4 retraces roughly to where the 1618 is. And then wave 5 can go all the way up. Back to 10K, right? So that would be our double test of 10K. That could be a realistic scenario. The fact that the 2618 falls exactly at 10K makes it stand out to me. I don't have nearly enough information to make a determination one way or the other. I'm just floating around ideas for now. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to see if we get enough rejection here. If we start to see enough sells, if we start to see some shorts open up and general sentiment turning, then yeah, we're probably going to correct off the 618, which will be a well-rounded model. Get support right here around the cloud or the EMAs before the next move up. But if we can push through here, once we break through there, other than that 97.50 resistance, there's really nothing there. So we're wide open. We can keep pushing up. It's just that 97.50 minor resistance I showed you on the Coinbase chart. All right. I was gonna just shut this down, but I can do like one. Oh, link is coming back down. Is it gonna fill? Yeah, it did. So if you guys did what I said and placed that order right there, so it would fill right at that support line, you're now in this trade, and you're already moving back up. Why? Because you got someone with skills that can identify supports really well, which is exactly what you're going to be able to do when you start drilling and working on this shit relentlessly, right? If you're able to identify this support, you've already identified the trade before it happens. Once you find that support, you know there's a potential trade there, so you just keep an eye on it. After we dipped and hit off this support before, I knew that if we came back down, it would be a good potential trade. As soon as we started looking at this chart and I saw this red candle, I knew that was a potential scenario to get into. Now, this could push right through that support, and I can lose 1.9%, but why do I 1.9%? I could potentially make 30% on this trade if it breaks out, right? So clearly 1.9% is an insignificant amount of capital to risk relative to the potential profit. And it's all about RR, right? It's risk reward analysis is it's the name of the game. All right, anybody have any questions who is not in the group? Because we'll do a live stream with their team and everything, and I'll be in Discord all night. But anybody who's not in the group that wants to ask me a quick question, I'll take like one or two questions. If anybody has any, you can use the YouTube chat. You know, it's the box on the screen that says chat where you type words to people. Also known as an empty white area because shy little bitches won't ask questions and man up. That's ETH. Looks like ETH's has a nice ascending channel. I'm going to take a look at that. All right, that's what we'll do. We'll take a look at that with our remaining time. It's going to break out? I think it just did. Fuck. It look like I ever did some analysis on ETH before. What supports? Whose charts are worse, mine or chart vamps? I suppose it is hitting resistance right now. It's kind of a weak ascending triangle, and to be honest, that wasn't an ascending triangle. Now it just became one. Do you see why? 3 points of contact. This just is the third rejection at that same support resistance level, right? So you only had 1, 2. Broke through for a second here, but it never held. So these are really the only 2 points of contact where it held as a resistance. I require 3 to consider it an ascending triangle like that. It's getting massively rejected from that resistance right now. So I would say right now this would be the top of an ascending triangle. That certainly works. Let's clear this out a little bit so I can just see what's going on here. That's from an old trade. You can actually see that trade on here somewhere if I go back far enough. Needless to say, it's 67, 69%. We did pretty well on that one, huh? It's also pretty nice that it ended up being a strong support. It's peeking through that resistance. It's looking attractive. Could be a play to be made on Ethereum here. It's just with a candle like that, it is going to have to retrace back because look, that's just all pump volume. RSI is way too high. This is going to come back down below that support. If it continues to break through, I'd be very surprised. It's not worth putting your money into. I wouldn't buy into it now. If you're holding Ethereum, you're in a great position, but I wouldn't put money into it right now if I were in your position. It's too far gone. If I was able to get in further down, sure, but just in the last several hours, it's up 6%, 5.5%, 6%. After a candle like that, all that volume shooting in, and RSI spiking over 80, yeah, I wouldn't touch it right now. But if you're in it, move your stop loss up, because I think if you were to get rejected up here and come back down below that resistance, you might be able to buy back in at a lower price, but depending where you entered, you could potentially have a good stop loss to lock in some profits. I want this candle to close above the support, and then I'm pretty confident it'll move back up. I think the support's going to hold, and I think this is going to go down as one of those great surgical entries. So if you guys didn't get into this, you might still be able to, because it might come down and retest the support. Look at the 5 minute. Let's see. Well, I don't know. It looks like it's starting to turn around here after bouncing off that support. Now, can you see how that is a very strong support, right? Looking at the 5 minute chart and all these candles. Go back to the hourly and it's like, well, how did you call such a good support there when there's really only a few candles that hit it and a bunch of them had wicks that broke through? All right, take a look at the 15 minute or the 5 minute and you'll see that is an epic support right there. Epic, epic support. This is a really good buy. That was a good call. I'm happy about that one. Hopefully some of you guys make money on that. I'm pretty sure this is gonna close out up. I'm pretty damn confident in this setup right here. Then again, I was confident in my original ZIL buy and I got burned because nobody's perfect. I'm pretty fucking close though. Alright, I'm just joking. Any other questions? No? Mine are easier to read than Vamps. Huh, yeah. Gene. Alright, we'll call it quits on this one. We'll do a stream. I'll be in the Discord with you guys, and then we'll do a live stream in a little bit. Oliver's probably going to get up soon, so I'm here now. I'll be in the Discord if you need me. And everybody who's not in the group who came by, thank you for stopping by. Join my group and give me your money. I want it. It should be my money. I work hard. I deserve your money. I'm just kidding. You can mooch off me for free all you want. I love sharing. Alright, I already went over LTC. Somebody just said, can you cover LTC? You can watch this back when it's over. Yeah, we went over LTC in some detail. It's back up to where I wanted it to be. Everything about this is back to bullish. This is exactly what I had anticipated. This entry here was absolutely phenomenal. That wick I caught because I had a strong support. That was my new entry, literally within a few pennies. And yeah, I'm still actually holding some in profit from there, but this most recent trade up here, I only have 1.75% locked in. But yeah, we've been making bank on LTC ever since I called the bottom. So there's a lot of potential there. It still hasn't come to fruition. That's not consistent enough to be any sort of... Yeah, actually it is. Hold on. See, I haven't zoomed out. That's why I never actually spotted my BTC count that ended up being epic. I never spotted it originally because I just don't zoom out that often. When I'm trading on the hourly, I'm so focused, you know? Lots of points of contact, a lot more than 3, right? I talked about my rule, how I need to see 3 points of contact before I consider it a valid trendline support or resistance. I don't have a good trend line support really here. It's not bad other than that wick coming through. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good. So we do have an ascending triangle there, which really places us, we're getting within that apex. We haven't really consolidated tightly within that consolidation zone, within that final apex really. I would have liked to see us push a little bit further over. I think at this point we might get another rejection and not break through that resistance, or if we do break through it, it might not be a huge breakout. If we were to get rejected at that resistance, come back down, test the trend line, then break through the resistance, that would be one of those big explosive moves, right? But, oh look, we pushed through the 618. All right, guys, we're running to 10K. I'll meet you there. End of stream. Meet you guys in the group, Team TFC. And again, everybody on YouTube who's not in the group, stop being cheap fucks. Give me your money. Hey. I just started the same stream right back up. All right, we're back. I figured, fuck it, why not just stay on, because we're testing this resistance right now. What did I say? 97.50 was the resistance. Where are we holding? Thank you, motherfucking Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ, help me, Lord. Oh, Lord, come over me. Man, it's almost like I knew that would happen or something. It's almost like support and resistance is some important shit or something, you know? Break it. We just want to see it break it. I want to see it break it. Get over 9,800. 10K is happening. My call. Our call. From 11 days ago. When everybody was bearish. Not to mention the running flat that everybody was convinced was bearish. Hold on. Jenny's calling me. Hey, I'm in the middle of a live stream. What's up? I'm trying to convince suckers on the internet to give me their money for skills I'm pretending to have, but really have no idea what I'm talking about. What do you mean? Oh, wait, is this on mute? Oh, shit. What? I was joking. What do you need? I'm on a live stream right now. Say hi to the internet. Use your judgment. Anything that you think I want. Just get anything that... Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah, I said if there's anything you want to get that you think I want, get. I don't know. I can't think right now. I'm literally in the middle of a live stream. All right, see you in a bit. All right. Where was I? Bragging, showing off, or something like that, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna keep pushing to 10K. So let's go back and see. Yep, again, 97.50 held. We broke through a tiny bit, never got to 9,800. That was really the last push. Once we break that resistance, we're there. But this is confirmation for me. That break, push right to 97.50 and rejection. I don't see any reason why we don't finish the run to 10K at all. So that's why I restarted up the stream, because I just looked over and saw that it was literally on that resistance. So I figured I'd watch it with you guys. And Jenny called me to ask if I wanted something from the store. It threw me off my game. There's so much stuff to pay attention to right now. I'm making money on LTC. And no doubt about that. Making money on EOS, I'd say. Are you guys making money on Link? I didn't get into this with you, but I gave you the trade, and it is a beaut. So we'll see what happens here. I'm pretty sure if you're not in this group and you got into this trade, you're going to be joining the group in like 4 hours, I bet. Maybe even 3. Let's see what happens once this hourly closes. Looks like EOS was the trade to get into. Still pushing. Really got to break that 717 resistance. Do that. I'm going to be very happy. Knowles is going back up also. What a perfect re-entry. What a perfect re-entry on Zill. Daddy is on fire. Man, I was wrong twice. Oh, no, I wasn't wrong on this one. I was wrong. Well, I was wrong twice because there was another buy between those. I got stopped out twice on Zill. Take that shit personally. This shit ain't funny, motherfucker. Stevie Wonder's the musical genius. You know what comedy sketch that's from? If you guys don't, you lose my respect. Oh, buddy. Still above that resistance. Still at our resistance, right? 97.50. We talked about. You know what? Let me do a quick one of these. You know, seriously, girls on crypto Twitter are like severely DTF, like on another level. There aren't very many of them. They're either assholes or they love me. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, last cycle through. Y'all see if there's anything that we looked at to relook at. And then, yeah, I gotta go deal with this whole baby nonsense. And then I'll be on with the group. Come on, Knowles. Keep pushing, baby girl. You can do it. Fett screwed me. I was wrong on Fett. Got stopped out on that little hoe. CRX got stopped out on that one. There's some dude on Twitter was like, why don't you share your trades when you lose and get stopped out? I fucking do. I've never deleted a trade that I've shared anywhere. Every time I've gotten stopped, just go find them. Expose me. Show everybody how I got stopped out on trades. Great. Made 160% on my last link trade from start to finish. So I lost 1.8% on ZRX and 2.4% on ZIL. I'm so down. And $16,000 I made last week doesn't really cover those losses. What will I ever do? God, I hate stupid people. I can deal with dumb people. Dumb people don't have a choice. Stupid people are like knowingly moronic, go out of their way not to educate themselves. Okay, so LTC 140 is the key to watch. My 133 support never getting broken again. So all you got to do is watch 140. Breaks 140, she's running. If she gets rejected at 140, there's a ton of support down here. I'm not moving my stop loss up. I only have 1.75% locked in on this most recent entry. My entry from down here, obviously I'm way up, but I consider them separate trades. This trade, when I entered right here, again, right on that wick. Beautiful entry right on the 222 EMA. I called it live on Twitter. Since this last one, I only have 1.75% profit locked in, which is fine. I'm not moving it up at all until we clear 140. Because look what happened. We went up to 140, rode it for a while, came right back down to test the trend line again, right? So nothing that says that can't happen twice. So yeah, that's the key zone. 140 on LTC. Clear 140, we're open. Next resistance is 143, but it's insignificant. There should be no problem breaking through that. And then to find other resistance, we have to go back a year. We can do that really quick. This is stupid. I have other shit to be doing, but you guys suck me in. You know, you just know. You're like, I'm gonna make this Jew talk about money, and then you won't be able to stop. Okay. Check this out. We can find every important support and resistance around the current price from right here. We don't even need to know where the current price is. Right? A little exercise here. Well, educational exercise. So y'all can learn some shit. Hmm. 140 is a strong resistance for a reason. Boom, boom, ba boom. Boom, ba boom, boom, boom. Ba 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 boom. ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-boom, boom, 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 ba-boom. Clearly, historically, it's been a key area where you see support or resistance, whether you're on top or below. So yeah, we definitely are going to have trouble breaking through that. That's going to be important. Getting through 140. Now beyond that, let's see. So right here, ba-ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-boom, boom, boom, ba-boom. Yeah, that's a good resistance. It's really close to the 140. So I don't even want to make a note of it, to be honest, because I'm going to consider that just a range from like 143 to 140. It's an insignificant gap. This is a lot more relevant. You seeing this with me? Check it out. You'll see it as soon as I highlight it. It'll stand right out to you. Look at that. So that's a key resistance right here, over here. Key support over here. Even when it broke through, it was holding. Further back, key support. In the live stream where we identified that really crucial BTC resistance right here at 93.80. It was an educational Vader University stream with the group. And the exercise we were doing was exactly what we're doing on the LTC right now, and you're getting it for free. We essentially went back in time up to a year. It was 6-7 months, whatever. Looked at a chart like this and identified really strong support and resistance. And then we looked forward to the future, and it was exactly, none of this had filled in. None of this got rejected yet, right? We didn't even get up to that level yet. We just barely broke 9,000 early on, and I was able to identify this support and this resistance level, which was really strong this entire time, and ended up being the exact breakout level that we needed. And we identified it by going back 7 or 8 months, 6 months, whatever it was. Same exact thing we're doing here. We're looking back at March and April. We could go back even further, and we're identifying a really important support and resistance level. We have another one as we get up here. A lot of resistance there. That follows across pretty nicely. So, all right, that's it. That's the last we're doing. And this is important because the wicks here, if you remove the wicks there and you remove the wicks there, that's a perfect support, right? If you include the wicks, you're like, oh, it broke here, it got, broke there. You have to be able to see trends like this, where this is still a really strong support level. It might vary by 0.5%, but you can see, roughly speaking, right? And the other important thing, which I taught in the Vader University stream, free education for you right now, I talked about this, the length. Right here, where I say this is a strong support. Right here, it broke a little bit. Just because it broke here doesn't invalidate it as a support. It actually enhances it as a support. And let me show you why really quick. I identified this as a really strong support, right? So you might say, well, it broke right here, but look what happened when it broke. That's an hourly candle getting rejected, a 4-hour candle. Shit, that's a 4-hour candle getting rejected, finding support there. The next hourly candle getting rejected when the body of the candle tried to push up against it. Every time it tried to wick back up here, it was getting rejected. As soon as it flipped and we broke a top, then it was a support again on like 7 consecutive candles. So just because a bunch of wicks came through, just because a few candles broke through, doesn't invalidate this. This is an extremely pertinent support resistance right here. It just so happens that to identify it, you need to be able to kind of see through some of the cloud, but you can see it very easily right here. When you have a big drop like this, and that drop is interrupted where there's a break, the candle splits, and then the next candle resumes, that is usually a good indicator that you're at an important support or resistance zone. Because why would that candle all of a sudden halt when it's dropping that strong, right? There's got to be some force that holds it up. It's obviously the support. All right, so now that we identified these supports by looking back in time, we can now see where they're going to come in handy in the present. So let's do that, shall we? Where the fuck are we? There we go. So now we already knew we had a 140 resistance. I will bet one of you $5,000 that we get rejected really strong as soon as we hit 155. $5,000 cash. And we get rejected at 155. That's how confident I am in it. Just like with BTC, when I said we would get rejected at 97.50. I have a feeling nobody's going to want to take that bet. Which is great, because that illustrates that you guys really understand how important support and resistance is to everything I do. And how you could do everything there's nothing, I don't have any magical skills. I joke that I'm from the future. I kind of am from the future. But I'm not really from the... I really am from the future. But let's just say I'm not from the future. I don't have any magic abilities. I just learned how to use support and resistance really well. I learned how to identify them. And I learned how to troll the shit out of people on Twitter who fuck with me. Oh, God, I love doing that. So those skills I developed. I wasn't born with them. You guys can learn this shit too. Support and resistance, man. Just focus on support and resistance, guys. All right. this is the last time I'm giving a fake goodbye. We're really done. If you're not in the group, get the fuck out. I'm ending this stream and doing a new link, so I'm not going to restart this stream again. Everybody in the group, I will be in Discord if you need me. I'm going to go feed Oliver, and then we'll do a live stream for just us, look at some new trades, because I think the alts might see some movement soon. Everybody who's on Twitter and not in the private group, or anybody who's in the free group and not in the private group, there's probably an 80 to 88% chance you're going to want to sign up for the premium group in the next hour. As soon as the alts start moving, you're really going to want to be in the group. So if you want to sign up, shoot me a DM, and I'll see if I can find a spot for you. Honestly, it's not a sales pitch. I literally might not be able to find a spot for you. It depends if anybody's not paid up. I usually give people like a week where I wouldn't boot them out. Now I've been booting them out if they don't pay after a day or two, because too many people want to jump in, and I don't want it to be some massive group. It's got to remain semi-exclusive, given how much attention I pay to you lazy bastards who don't do any work for yourselves. All right, that's it.